In a distant galaxy, the Galactic Empire ruled with an iron fist. Planets trembled under their might. They were powerful and feared, but their arrogance blinded them to the past. On a dark, forgotten planet, buried beneath layers of dirt and time, lay an ancient treasure. This treasure was not gold or jewels. It was a fleet of long-lost human warships, resting in silence. The Empire's scientists had spent years searching for a way to crush any resistance. One day they discovered old texts that spoke of a human fleet hidden on a forgotten world. They believed that if they could awaken this fleet, it would guarantee their victory over any remaining humans. They laughed at the thought, thinking the humans were weak and unprepared. On the other side of the galaxy, a small group of humans had been living in hiding. They had survived in secret for many years, their lives marked by fear and uncertainty. They knew of the Empire's strength and how they had destroyed countless worlds. The leader of this group, a young woman named Mira, often spoke of hope. She believed that one day humans would rise again, but her words fell on deaf ears, as many had lost faith in the past. Meanwhile, on the dark planet, the Empire's scientists were ready to act. They gathered in a vast underground chamber filled with strange machines and glowing screens. The head scientist, Dr. Velas, stood before a massive control panel. His eyes sparkled with excitement and ambition. "Today we will awaken the ancient fleet," he announced, his voice echoing through the chamber. As he pressed buttons and pulled levers, the ground trembled. Lights flickered on the ships, which had been dormant for centuries. Slowly, the ancient machines started to whir and hum, waking from their slumber. Each ship was a masterpiece of human design, with sleek lines and powerful engines. They had been built for war, and now they were stirring to life once more. Back in her hidden base, Mira sensed something. A strange feeling washed over her, as if a distant storm was brewing. She gathered her small team of fighters. "I don't know what's happening," she said, her voice steady but filled with concern. "But I feel a change in the air. We must be ready for anything." As the Empire continued to awaken the fleet, the ships began to rise from the ground, one by one. They looked like ghosts of the past, majestic and powerful. Dr. Velas watched with pride as the first ship, the USS Valor, broke through the surface. It gleamed in the light of distant stars, a testament to human ingenuity. The scientists cheered, believing they had struck gold. But the awakening came with a price. The ships were not just machines. They were filled with memories, history, and the spirits of those who had fought bravely long ago. As the ships powered up, their systems flickered to life, and whispers of the past filled the air. The spirits of ancient human warriors stirred, awakening their sense of purpose once more. On the human side, Mira and her team had been training, preparing for the worst. As they watched the skies, they saw flashes of light in the distance. "Something is happening," Mira said, her heart racing. "We need to find out what it is." The small team climbed aboard their ships, ready to take to the skies. They were nervous but determined. The humans were not just survivors, they were warriors. As they prepared for takeoff, Mira's voice rang out. "No matter what we face, we must fight together." With that, they soared into the sky, ready to uncover the truth behind the strange lights and the awakening of the ancient fleet. Little did they know, this would be the beginning of a new chapter in their history, a chapter filled with danger, discovery, and the chance to reclaim their place in the galaxy. The Galactic Empire thought they had everything under control, but they were about to learn a lesson about underestimating the spirit of humanity. As the ancient fleet began to awaken, so too did the hope of a people long forgotten. The battle for their future was about to begin, and the humans were ready to rise again. As the stars twinkled in the vast darkness of space, the ancient human fleet slowly awakened, each ship coming to life like a slumbering giant. Inside the USS Valor, Captain Mira felt a surge of energy as the ship's systems powered up around her. The lights flickered and the hum of the engines filled her ears, reminding her of stories from the past, tales of great battles fought by brave humans. It was time to reclaim their legacy. Mira stood on the bridge, her heart pounding with excitement and fear. She looked at her crew, a group of young but determined warriors. Each of them had trained hard, honing their skills in secret for years. Now they were about to face the greatest challenge of their lives. "This is it, everyone!" she called out, her voice steady. "We are the last hope for our people. Together we will rise and show the Galactic Empire that we are not to be underestimated." The crew cheered, their spirits lifted by Mira's words. They knew the Empire was powerful, but they also felt the strength of their ancestors flowing through them. The crew began to take their positions, eager to take flight and meet their destiny. Meanwhile, on the dark planet where the Empire had awakened the fleet, Dr. Velas monitored the ships with pride. "These ancient machines are incredible," he exclaimed to his fellow scientists. "With their firepower, we will crush any resistance." The scientists shared in his excitement, unaware of the storm they had stirred. They believed they had awakened a weapon, but what they had truly awakened was the spirit of humanity. As the human fleet powered up, the spirits of the long-lost warriors began to guide the ships. Each ship was not merely a machine, it was a vessel filled with history, purpose, and the will to fight. The ship's AI, named Astra, tapped into the ancient knowledge of the fleet. "Captain Mira," Astra said, her voice calm and clear, "I am here to assist you. Together we will use the tactics of our ancestors to outsmart the Empire." Mira felt a wave of reassurance wash over her. "Thank you, Astra," she replied. "Let's show them what we can do." The crew navigated their ships through the hidden base, flying towards the open sky. As they emerged into the vastness of space, the sight of the ancient fleet filled them with awe. They saw ships of all shapes and sizes, each one a testament to human ingenuity. The fleet was ready, and they were finally united. In a matter of moments, the humans had formed their formation, ready to face whatever came next. They scanned the stars for signs of the Empire. Suddenly, an alarm rang out on the bridge of the USS Valor. "Captain, we have detected multiple enemy ships approaching," a crew member shouted, panic in their voice. Mira took a deep breath and quickly regained her focus. "All right, everyone, stay calm. We've trained for this. Let's get into position and prepare to engage the enemy." The crew sprang into action, their training kicking in as they remembered their lessons. They readied their weapons and checked their systems, each person understanding the importance of the moment. Mira felt a sense of pride as she watched her team work together, their resolve shining brightly in the face of danger. As the enemy ships drew nearer, Mira could see the insignia of the Galactic Empire flashing on their hulls. They were powerful, but the humans had an advantage. They had the element of surprise and the heart of warriors who refused to back down. "On my mark," Mira said, her voice steady. "We'll let them get close, then we strike." The crew nodded, determination etched on their faces. They could feel the adrenaline coursing through their veins, the thrill of battle igniting their spirits. As the enemy ships approached, the moment arrived. "Now!" Mira shouted. The human fleet sprang into action, flying towards the enemy with newfound speed and agility. The ancient warships glided through space like arrows, their weapons primed and ready. The battle was fierce, with blaster fire lighting up the dark sky. The humans fought with skill and bravery, using tactics learned from their ancestors. They weaved in and out of enemy fire, their movements precise and deliberate. Each ship worked as a team, protecting one another and striking at the heart of the Empire's forces. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded, the humans emerged victorious. They had shown the Galactic Empire that they were not weak and that they would fight for their freedom. Captain Mira and her crew had taken their first step toward reclaiming their legacy. The rise of the warriors had begun, and the spark of hope had ignited into a blazing fire. In that moment, Mira realized that they were not just fighting for themselves, they were fighting for all humanity. The ancient fleet was alive, and they were ready to reclaim their place in the galaxy. The battle had just begun, and the humans would not back down. They would rise as warriors, united and strong, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The echoes of victory still rang in the hearts of Mira and her crew. They had struck a powerful blow against the Galactic Empire, but they knew this was only the beginning. The ancient fleet, now awakened, was ready to fight. The Empire would not take their defeat lightly. As they regrouped on the USS Valor, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and a tinge of anxiety. "Captain Mira," said Astra, the ship's AI, "the Empire is regrouping. They are gathering their forces to retaliate. We must prepare for another attack." Mira nodded, her expression serious. "We knew they wouldn't back down. We need to strengthen our defenses and plan our next move. Gather the crew for a briefing." As the crew assembled in the main chamber, Mira stood at the front, her heart racing with the weight of responsibility. "Everyone, we have shown the Empire that we can fight back. But they will not let this go. They will come for us with everything they have. We need to be ready. A murmur of agreement swept through the room. The crew had tasted victory, but they understood the reality of their situation. They were outnumbered and outgunned, and the Empire would be coming for them with anger and vengeance. We have the advantage of surprise, Mira continued, and the knowledge of our ancestors. We can use guerrilla tactics to disrupt their plans. Astra, can you analyze their movements and predict their next attack? Affirmative, Captain, Astra replied. I will monitor their communications and gather data on their fleet movements. With their plan set, the crew went to work. They adjusted their weapons, checked their shields, and prepared their ships for the inevitable battle. The atmosphere was tense but filled with determination. They knew what was at stake: their freedom, their future, and the legacy of humanity. Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy, the Galactic Empire was furious. Dr. Velas paced in his command center, his anger palpable. How could they defeat us? Those humans should have been weak and easy to crush. They had no right to stand against the might of the Empire. His fellow scientists and military leaders watched, unsure of how to calm him. They had underestimated the spirit of humanity, and now they would pay for it. We need to strike back harder, Velas shouted, slamming his fist on the table. We must crush them once and for all. Prepare the fleet for an immediate assault. The Empire's ships buzzed with activity as they readied themselves for war. Tensions rose as soldiers loaded weapons and pilots took to their ships, fueled by anger and a desire for revenge. They were determined to make an example of the humans. Back with Mira and her crew, Astra alerted them. Captain, the Empire is mobilizing. They are sending a large fleet towards our location. Let's not give them an easy target, Mira instructed. We need to find a way to draw them into a trap. The crew quickly devised a plan. They would use a nearby asteroid field to their advantage. It would be a dangerous maneuver, but if executed correctly, they could ambush the Empire's ships. We will split into two groups, Mira explained. One group will lure them into the field while the other will lie in wait to strike. As the crew prepared for battle, Mira felt a mix of fear and excitement. This was the moment they had trained for, the moment that could change everything. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for their identity as humans. The time for action arrived. The crew took their positions, hearts racing as they flew toward the asteroid field. The massive rocks floated in the darkness, creating a perfect hiding place. Mira's ship, the USS Valor, led the charge, acting as bait. As expected, the Empire's ships followed closely, their arrogance blinding them to the trap. Mira's heart raced as she spotted the enemy fleet approaching. Now! She commanded. The human ships sprang into action, darting out from behind the asteroids like lightning. Blaster fire lit up the darkness as they engaged the surprised enemy. The Empire's ships, taken off guard, struggled to respond as the humans attacked with fierce determination. The battle was chaotic. Asteroids flew through space, colliding with ships on both sides. Mira fought bravely, her instincts sharp as she commanded her crew. They worked as a unit, each member knowing their role and executing it flawlessly. The spirits of their ancestors guided them, urging them on. Dr. Velas, watching from his command center, shouted orders as chaos unfolded on the screen. Focus fire on those human ships! They cannot win this fight! But the humans fought with a passion and skill that was impossible to ignore. They moved with precision, striking key targets and crippling the Empire's forces. As the battle raged on, Mira realized that the tide was turning in their favor. They were winning. The Empire was losing ships, and their morale was plummeting. With one final push, the human fleet launched a coordinated attack that sent the Empire reeling. When the dust settled, the humans had emerged victorious once more. They had fought bravely and had shown the Empire that they were not just survivors, they were warriors. As Mira looked around at her crew, their faces filled with determination and pride, she knew this was only the beginning. The war had broken out and humanity was ready to fight for its place in the galaxy. The battle against the Galactic Empire had been fierce, and the humans had emerged victorious. However, the cost of war weighed heavily on Mira and her crew. They had lost friends and allies, but their spirits remained unbroken. With every victory, they grew stronger and more determined to uncover the secrets of their past and understand the ancient fleet they now commanded. After the battle, Mira gathered her crew on the USS Valor. The atmosphere was somber, yet filled with anticipation. They had fought bravely, but there was still much to learn about the ancient technology and history hidden within the ships of their fleet. Listen up, everyone. Mira said, her voice steady. "We've done something incredible, but we need to understand what we're working with. There are secrets in these ships that could help us win this war." As they discussed their next steps, Astra, the ship's AI, chimed in. "Captain, I have access to the ship's archives. I can help you explore the history of this fleet and the technology within. There may be hidden weapons or strategies that can aid us in our fight against the Empire." Mira's eyes lit up with hope. "That's exactly what we need! Let's dive into those archives and see what we can find." Every piece of information could be crucial. The crew set to work, poring over the data stored in the ship's systems. They discovered that the ancient fleet had once been part of a great alliance of planets, fighting for freedom and justice in the galaxy. This alliance had built the ships with advanced technology, designed to outsmart their enemies. As they dug deeper, Mira stumbled upon a particular ship's log that piqued her interest. It was from the USS Guardian, an ancient flagship that had led many battles. The log told tales of bravery and sacrifice, but it also hinted at a powerful weapon hidden within the ship, a weapon that could turn the tide of war. "This is it!" Mira exclaimed, gathering her crew around her. "The USS Guardian held a secret weapon. If we can find it, it could give us the upper hand against the Empire." Excitement filled the room as the crew listened to Mira's words. They began to plan their next move. "Astra, can you locate the USS Guardian?" Mira asked eagerly. "Searching now," Astra replied. Moments later, she continued, "I have located the USS Guardian. It is currently on the planet Eloria, approximately 1 parsec from our current position." Mira looked at her crew, determination shining in her eyes. "We need to go there and retrieve that weapon. It might be our best chance against the Empire." Without hesitation, the crew prepared for their journey. They loaded supplies, checked their weapons, and set the coordinates for Eloria. As the USS Valor soared through space, Mira felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. They were entering uncharted territory, but the potential reward was too great to ignore. When they arrived at Eloria, they were met with a stunning sight. The planet was lush and green, filled with towering mountains and shimmering lakes. However, they knew that beauty could hide danger. "Stay alert, everyone," Mira warned. "We don't know what to expect down there." The crew descended to the surface, landing in a clearing surrounded by thick trees. They disembarked and began their search for the USS Guardian. Astra led the way, guiding them through the dense forest. As they trekked, they could feel the weight of history surrounding them. Finally, after hours of searching, they came upon a massive structure partially buried in the ground. "This must be it," Mira said, awestruck. The ship was enormous, its hull adorned with ancient symbols that told stories of battles long forgotten. They approached carefully, feeling a mix of respect and fear for the ship that had once been a symbol of hope. As they entered the ship, the atmosphere changed. Dust filled the air, and shadows danced in the dim light. They moved cautiously, exploring the empty corridors and chambers. Suddenly, Astra spoke up. "Captain, I am detecting energy signatures coming from the ship's core. It appears the weapon is still functional." Mira's heart raced. "Let's move! We have to reach the core!" They navigated through the darkened ship, adrenaline pumping as they raced against time. Finally, they reached the core chamber, a vast room filled with ancient technology. In the center stood a device unlike anything they had seen before, glowing with power. "This is it!" Mira exclaimed, awe filling her voice. "This is the weapon we've been searching for!" As they examined the device, Mira realized it was more than just a weapon. It was a symbol of hope. They could harness its power and use it to defend their people and their legacy. With renewed determination, they prepared to activate the weapon. Mira knew that this was just the beginning of their journey. They had uncovered secrets of the past that would guide them into the future. The war was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The ancient fleet was alive, and humanity would rise again. The USS Valor soared through space, its crew buzzing with excitement and determination. They had activated the ancient weapon, a powerful tool that could turn the tide in the war against the Galactic Empire. Mira stood at the helm, her heart filled with hope. The past weeks had been hard, but now they had a chance to change everything. As they made their way back to their home base, Mira gathered her crew in the main chamber. The mood was electric. "Everyone, I want to thank you for your hard work and bravery," she began. "We have faced many challenges, but we have also found incredible strength within ourselves and each other. We are not just fighting for survival, we are fighting for our future." Cheers erupted from the crew. They had come together as a family, united by a common purpose. Mira looked around, seeing the determination in their eyes. With the weapon we have now, we can defend ourselves against the Empire and protect our home. Astra, what is our current status? Mira asked, turning her attention to the ship's AI. We are approaching our home base, Astra reported. I recommend we prepare our defenses and alert the other ships in our fleet. Good idea, Mira said. We need everyone ready for what's coming. The Empire won't take our new weapon lightly. As they neared the base, Mira's mind raced with possibilities. They could finally confront the Empire on equal footing. The days of being seen as weak were over. They would show their enemies that humanity had teeth. Upon arrival, the crew worked tirelessly to prepare for the upcoming battle. They upgraded their ships, practiced maneuvers, and honed their strategies. Mira walked through the bustling halls, feeling pride swell in her chest. Her crew had transformed from scared survivors into fierce warriors. Captain Mira, a familiar voice called out. It was Commander Jax, her second in command. We've received intelligence from our scouts. The Empire is planning a large-scale attack on our base. Mira's expression hardened. Then we have to be ready. Gather everyone for a briefing. We will not let them take our home! As the crew assembled, Mira looked at their determined faces. The Empire thinks they can crush us, but they are wrong. We have the power of the ancient fleet and the courage of humanity behind us. We will stand together and fight for our future. The crew cheered, their voices ringing out with unity and strength. They were ready to defend their home at all costs. Hours later, the moment arrived. The USS Valor and the rest of their fleet stood ready, waiting for the Empire to show up. Tension hung in the air as everyone prepared for the confrontation. The helm, her heart pounding. This was it, the moment they had been preparing for. Suddenly, the sensors beeped. Captain, enemy ships detected, Astra announced. They are approaching fast. Prepare for battle, Mira shouted. The crew sprang into action, taking their positions. Mira felt a rush of adrenaline as the enemy ships filled the screen. The Galactic Empire had arrived. Steady, everyone, she called out, her voice calm amidst the chaos. We have trained for this. Trust in yourselves and each other. As the enemy ships closed in, Mira gave the command. Open fire! The first blast echoed through space as the humans launched their attack. The battle was fierce and chaotic, with blaster fire illuminating the darkness. Ships danced around each other, maneuvering and dodging in a deadly game of cat and mouse. Mira's heart raced as she commanded her crew. They fought valiantly, using their knowledge of the ancient weapon to strike at key enemy ships. The power of the weapon was overwhelming, and the Empire was caught off guard. Look, they're faltering, Jax shouted, his excitement contagious. We're gaining ground! Mira felt a surge of hope. Keep pushing forward! We can win this! The battle raged on, but the tide was turning. The Empire's ships began to break formation, losing their advantage. Mira's crew fought with everything they had, their spirits high. They were no longer the underdogs, they were warriors defending their home. As the last enemy ship fell, a cheer erupted from the crew. They had done it. They had fought back against the Empire and emerged victorious. Mira stood in awe, watching her crew celebrate their hard-earned victory. This is only the beginning, she said, her heart swelling with pride. Today we have shown the galaxy what humanity is capable of. We will continue to fight for our freedom and protect what is ours. The crew cheered, united in their triumph. They had faced the Empire and won, proving their strength and resilience. As the stars twinkled around them, a new dawn began. Humanity had risen from the ashes, ready to reclaim their place in the galaxy. With the ancient fleet at their side, they knew they could face whatever challenges lay ahead. Mira looked out into the vastness of space, her heart filled with hope. The future was bright, and together they would forge their destiny.